Hello friends of my channel, welcome back. In today's video I decided I will address a subscriber's request. To be honest, it wasn't such an inspirational topic at first, though only in the middle of the process I realized that I can do much with it, and it's called Messages from Your Past Loved Ones. Basically, this reading, what you can expect from it. These piles, these sets of cards will showcase either one person or a group of them, and the intricate message that is specifically linked to the person or the group that is trying to communicate through these cards today. So I will try to be as specific as possible, though you have to keep in mind that this is a general reading and you have to be selective about every message that you take, meaning that you can take whatever resonates and leave the rest. And I will try to be as concise about it, and I will try to pinpoint the details that would perhaps make you recognize the person or the group of people that is trying to communicate here. Okay, let's begin with the pile selection. First pile, it's this one, and it's linked to this metal butterfly. It's like a necklace, I guess. The second pile is linked to this wing, as well, made out of metal. Third pile has this, it's an earring, reminds me of a wing somehow. Third pile that was, and the last pile as well. It's like an earring, but I try to fit it in as like a little small wing. Okay, that was like the fourth pile. So take your time and pick whichever pile resonates with you the most. This could be the case as well, that if you are drawn to many or all of them, you could watch them as well. This is completely fine. Only take whatever you feel is resonating with you. Okay, let's begin with the first pile. Hello, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. This is quite the energy here, to be honest. First of all, this will be a description of the person that's trying to come here with a message to you. The Wide World is the first card, along with the Six of Visions, and the first message I felt was this might be a female person, and it feels to me like it's like an aunt or a grandmother, or overall a very wise female figure. For some, this could be a combination. They could be playful and wise at the same time. They could have been always by your side and could have had a very huge impact on you in your childhood. Specifically in regards to this second card, with the Six of Visions. And it feels to me like the loss of this person was very, very taxing emotionally. It was really hard with the Three of Swords, and you could miss that person a lot. I mean, with this ship card, this message could be as well trying to tell me that you might have had that person in your life even when you were with them, like when they were alive, but somehow there was distance, like either physical distance, or either they were busy or you were busy, that it made it quite sometimes like impossible to spend as much time as you would want with them. There is a great recognition and gratitude coming from that person as a message, thanking you and really being so thankful overall for your participation in their life. It feels to me like this wide world. It felt like you were amongst a very few people who had that soul connection with them that was so rare and so so clear somehow. Like, it's that type of connection that is beyond words. It's beyond like understanding each other on simply on a word to word level. It's more like a soul connection type of situation. And many of you've had core memories with that person. Many of you perceived, or maybe they were very lonesome or misunderstood in life in general, but you were that person who always gave them that newfound feeling of hope, and as if finally there is someone who understands me. Like, they felt connected to you. They felt very much understood by you. This pile specifically, as I said, this translates from Russian into come back to earth. This could be that you have moments in your life in which you really want to bring that person back, or as if there are some achievements that you want to show them. You want to basically have someone to celebrate with, and if they were to be alive, you'd probably celebrate with them. Come back to earth could mean that at times you must learn to be happy no matter what's happening in your life, and as though that person is urging you to know that they see everything and that they cherish everything that you do even though they are not apparently physically present. They are still seeing all of these, and they are very thankful for the fact that you exist in general, and for the fact that it is not the achievements, it's the acknowledgement of your existence somehow. It feels to me like you still haven't let go. Hadn't. Yeah, it's really, it's heavy. Like, the grief here, it's weighing me down here right now. It's as though there is a part of you that has been locked away, that has been lost with the moment in which you learn that that person is no longer present. And this is like one type of connection in a lifetime, and there is a strong feeling like it will not be the same. With this King of Pentacles, I felt like many of you have lost a sense of either belonging or to rely on, as though you have lost a very important person on whom you could rely on. Or there is a sense of, I come and explore life, and somehow I return to them, or I return to that person for the recognition, or for the, like that child who comes back home and talks about the exciting things that they've been through to their parents, to their loved ones, and it's that empty feeling when you do not know where can you return, basically. And it's as though you live in the past, you live in those memories in which they were alive still. I want to say that with the message here, that person is very much observant and present with you throughout your journey, even though the signs are not as apparent as I would like to say. There is a huge gratitude, and it's so felt, so deeply felt, that it really comes at it's really difficult for me to channel this, but it's a feeling of gratitude that is beyond words. You know, it's such an energy that is beyond expression, to be honest. Like, this is what I feel, and I feel as though for many of you, with that person's loss, you've lost sense of stability and confidence here. It's as though you felt like you came back to that person and they were nurturing you, and all of a sudden that was gone in a blink, in a matter of moments, seconds, something like this. Like, the whole world crumbled. You've lost a very deep connection somehow with that passing, or a very old and dear friend. For many of you, life urged you to move on, or people in general urged you to move on, and that came as really like an offense to you, because it feels to you like you forgetting moving on is like a betrayal of that person. But it's really not. I see you here with this person, especially with this world card, them being present in your life, but in a very somehow invisible way to me. It's like those lucky moments, lucky circumstances in which things worked out, and that's like their hand played a role in this as well. I want to say here as a message that that person is very much aware of you and of your achievements, and if you were asking whether you want to find, or if you are asking for a way to communicate to them, or to like talk to them via like mediumship, you have to know that they are very much aware of a lot of things that are happening to you even right now, and that the connection is not gone. The connection is still present, and it's very subtle, yet you might be considering yourselves separate from them or departed from them because of that perception of separation. And this grief, as though it covered everything, it even covered like these happy moments or happy memories. And unfortunately for some, this sadness is in the way of you feeling connected to them on a greater level. But I want to say that this person is alright. This person is in a place in which they recognize and feel the love that is basically linked to you, linked to their memories with you, linked to in the honor of your connection with them, and that they very much struggle and feel your pain with you, and are sorry that they have to feel this along with you. Like, they're sorry that you are going through this and that it's weighing you down. Somehow there might be like a guilt here, either coming from you or from them, like I haven't told them everything, or I didn't open up, you know, when I should have. Like, something is here that is saying that, and there is a feeling of being sorry here, like, for you suffering. Like, this is heavy. This pile is linked to a female person. Of course, this doesn't have to be like, this could be like a very old friend with whom you felt very connected, a person, like a soul connection here, and a connection in a lifetime, and definitely a lot of grief, nostalgia, memories, tears, and consequences of that departure. So if that's not resonating, then most likely there is like another pile here for you. But strongly here, the message that was coming up was specifically for them is they are in such a great place, to be honest, and they want to give you that feeling of recognition and gratitude that they feel right now, and as though they are feeling much better than even you. Like, they want you to give that understanding that they are all right, and for you to feel better because of it. You see, that's like I was trying to take some cards for the messages conveyed to them. They're in a very, very good place. You don't have to worry about them, about their state, because this could be talking about peace, this could be talking about love, because it's the lovers, and that feeling of overall completion and spiritual belonging, if that is even like possible, like in a word. It's a sense of community, of oneness. Knight of Cups, they are feeling all right. Like, you don't have to worry about them. They might be even feeling much better than they felt even when they were alive. Like, I see a lot of freedom. They feel a lot of freedom there. And Nine of Pentacles, and overall like satisfaction. Like, if you found that person lonesome in life, find that person stressed or somehow misunderstood, that person is in such a good place right now. I cannot tell you here. Like, it's so much better, and they want you to know that they are watching you, and they are cherishing your milestones, even if that is not as apparent right now. And I see as though for some reason this pile is not connected to the signs or to the elements of somehow their signs that they are trying to convey to you, that they are here, you know? Still, I'm trying to see the message that is linked to this Queen of Pentacles. So that's fantastic here. Like, the best cards fall into the category of what they're trying to convey to you, and overall it's in regards to how they're feeling there, and it's a very good feeling. Like, I didn't get negative cards here. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here. There is nothing negative. If you've been worrying about them, they feel much more in control and in a better place there for some reason. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there is like this life there, afterlife, yeah, that's the word, is so much easier for them, to be honest. Like, Two of Wands, it's a very comfortable place overall. You don't have to worry about them. That's what's that's the message that's coming to the table, alongside with the idea that they are present with you and they are cherishing your milestones, your achievements in life. They are by your side, and they are very much aware of your state of being, and trust me when I tell you, they're trying to warn you or to assist you in many things that are considered to be difficult in your life. If you've had, like, this will resonate with you, you might have had a very violent, aggressive, manipulative, or very cunning person that had ulterior motives but behaved in a very neutral manner, or they were very sneaky. Trust me when I tell you that your person, ancestor, whatever, like that person, they were assisting you with that thing. They were assisting you like on a spiritual level, maybe with signs, maybe with some sort of like interventions that are like protecting you from that person's influence, as though that person had a plan in mind and it failed because of your person's protection, and because of their intervention somehow, there is an eye-opening moment. I see like a failed plan. Seven of Swords and Five of Wands. A failed plan that was set in motion, or them trying to turn people against you, and for some reason that failed, and it has to do with your person's intervention here, and it's like giving me protection, strongly, intervention in the form of protection, that as though that person from the afterlife is supporting you alongside your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and they're trying to warn you or set or create the path for you or clear the way for you. They're very much very protective. Like this pile, your loved one is very protective and guarding your energy from beyond. It's as though this pile, like your person is like a warrior fighting for you on the other side. You see, the message that was like, this is advice. The message that was trying to show up in the first cards was that because of the depth of this connection and the understanding that you've felt, many people will say that you cannot let go, and you don't have to be very open about your feelings with the surroundings right now, or in general, because you might be misunderstood. And that's alright, in the sense of you do not have to overly explain your connection and the depth of it to other people, but you have to understand that unfortunately right now this is not the time for you to open up like to a psychologist and say the things and to basically express yourselves to many people around you, because you will not be understood, and this is like a waste of your energies, unfortunately. And what else? You have to honor this connection, you have to honor this union you have with them, but you do not have to express that to other people, because they will not understand what you felt and what you feel right now with the loss that you experienced. You might be very misunderstood in the sense of like even judged, or like, why can't you let go, why is this person so fixated upon that, like many like ugly things I truly want to cut off. But it's coming here like a warning that you have to understand yourself in such a way that you have to dismiss those commentaries and those opinions that do not belong or are not an accurate reflection of what's happening, because what you feel is what's happening for you, and that is the most important thing that you can have. So you will be the person who will understand the depth and how valuable this relationship is, and it's not a problem. It's really okay, and you do not have to basically await from the exterior world a recognition of that, even if it's normal to expect it and even if it is all right to receive it. But unfortunately I do not see the moment it being right now. That was all, first pile. I hope it resonated. Comment, like, subscribe. I really hope it was of use to you. That was a very complex message. I'm so honored and so thankful for this reading, and I wanted to truly congratulate you and to cherish that connection that you have. It is a thing that cannot be taken from you with a mere death, and I would be working perhaps on acknowledging and being more aware and sensitive to the possibility that they never went away in the first place, and that perhaps it's the time for you to feel the grief and to pass along or through it, for you to see that their presence is still here even right now. That was all, first pile. I hope to see you in my future videos. Bye. Oh god, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. I'm so happy and excited because I have a very specific message here. It's in regards to the overall abundance here, and the abundance as well with these two cards, the Angel of Generosity and the Ten of Pentacles. So hear me out as well, because this card, it tells like listen, like this is the card that's translated as listen. Okay, so this is the description of your loved one that has passed away, or the message that is they're trying to convey. This is a male. Why? Because the Lord, the First Lord. So the First Lord is like the Emperor and we have here the Emperor in reverse. This is most definitely a male, and I want to say here that this is very heavy masculine energy. There is a feeling about this person passing away that either you are still processing or haven't managed to get over the idea of their disappearance, as though the message or the information that they are gone has yet not settled. And this pile, like the first one, has their eyes shut or their perception closed. So much so that you're no longer perceiving their presence or their intervention into your life, which is obviously there. But because of this listen card, it's as though they're trying to communicate or to notify you of their presence, and you're not as sensitive for some reason. Or that you might have received or you're aware of them, but somehow you're not linking those to them for some reason. There is a barrier here with this message of like calm your mind. I'm like translating right now. Calm your mind, and basically this is saying the barriers of your mental side or your mental perception are creating barriers that make it so that their communication is either weakened or quite impossible for some, because it's that belief that like they're gone and I cannot communicate with them, like they're in a different place, and that belief is in and of itself making it so that they're not being able to communicate or to establish a very clear channel of communication. Yeah. Interestingly enough, this is a male, as I said, and they might have been actually like a star seed here with this starlight, or they might have been like an overly protective, could be, or like a very strong and powerful presence into your life. Yet somehow I see them struggling for some reason with this Emperor in reverse, as though they have had challenges. You know, overall this person was very protective of you and was trying to indirectly cast like a protection spell for some reason. Like this is this sounds a little bit odd, but it's not a spell really. It's like that feeling you get when, for example, a strong person is nearby, because you know that person has got your back. This is the same. Like this person might have not been aggressive, for example, but despite that, their aura, their presence gave you some sort of certainty that has made you feel at peace, or has made you feel safe, you know? And there might be some like unprocessed feelings here of grief or loss for that person, and they haven't left your side, I can tell you that, with this starlight. They're watching over you. Like I do not tell messages I do not feel, and I want to say I encounter a lot of people saying like that person is watching over you, they're always watching over you. I agree, but I want to be genuine about those readings. And you know, these stars, there are many, and you've got here many people watching over you as well, alongside with this primary male figure. This could be like ancestors, or even like very close friends, or friends that have passed away. This could be as well people watching that, like watching from beyond, like represented by these stars. This could be like relatives closely linked to that male figure. They might be watching over you, like their line of ancestors, relatives. They are very much keeping their eyes on you. What else can I say here? Two cards of prosperity, Ten of Pentacles and the Angel of Generosity. This person was very much generous with you, or they wanted to give you that feeling of you don't have to lack anything into your life. Either that, or they were very much focused on you either gaining some sort of knowledge, education, or being in life, like teaching yourselves or arranging yourselves in life so that you are successful, so that you are having enough to go by, so that you do not feel lack into your life. Like this person, I see them very much focused on the idea that you have to be independent, and if you are a female, then they might educate you in such a way, or have the intention to do so, so that you do not depend on a male. They wanted you to be independent. They want you to be independent, and specifically why I'm saying that, because that's the message that's coming up. If you are like in a situation in which you're struggling financially, this person is assisting you, or is giving you the insights, is trying to communicate messages maybe through other people or circumstances, so that you can reestablish that like feeling of ease and abundance flow into your life. I see them either praying, I see them either like contributing to your abundance levels and to the prosperity in your life. This could be like prosperity linked to the money aspect or to your physical health, because we all know Pentacles refer to the physical health as well, or the idea of stability. They might have been very encouraging. They might have been actually very much supportive of you, even if at times, for many of you, this person was sometimes either silent, or their support wasn't as apparent. That person like had it all in, like they were all betting everything on you, something like along those lines. You see Angel of Intuition and Angel, sorry, it was in reverse, by the way. There is a gap here, like as I said, like there is something here that is interfering in the connection with you, or in establishing a connection with you. Like you are either not aware that it's possible, or you're a little bit like ignoring, or not encompassing, or being like attentive to the signs that tell you that the connection between you and them is present, has not faded away. Like it's not the case in which, for example, time passed and somehow life got along, and you, because of the time passing, forgot. Or no, it's not that case. They're very much observant, present, and like connected to you, but on a different like frequency. For some reason, this is what's coming up here, and I sense here regret for some specific reason, because of the Emperor in reverse. And I want to say, like, I felt as though that person is regretting not showing up as actively as they would have liked to. They might be feeling like regret here is like something that's as though either in their life, or maybe even right now, they felt as though they haven't done enough, or they should have been more active. Or there is a feeling of, maybe if I behaved differently, then perhaps um, perhaps I would have made a greater like impact or change. Like I see that person wanting to give you everything and the best. You know, it's like a father figure. This pile like reminds me of having like a person, like a father figure that has passed away. This could be like a grandfather or like friend of the family, for example, that was very highly esteemed, highly regarded, or like a very it's a male definitely here with these emperors. You know, like I cannot. Uh, they might have passed away a long time ago because this card is flipped. Like I sense like their passing was not recent, or you feel as though either them or you feel like you did not wanted you did not want to remember them in this setup, like the burial or something like this. Like you would rather have their memory linked to happier things. You didn't want your memory to be covered by this event, or as though you want to forget seeing them in that. You know, in that circumstance in which they're like buried or something like this. Like I sense a person here wanting to be free of the memory of their burial, as though you have and had memories with them that are so much brighter, so much positive, so much optimistic, so much more optimistic than like that. Like there is a heavy uh, aftertaste. I don't know if that's the word. Like a bitter taste linked to the idea of like I don't want to remember them that way. There is something alongside with the idea of like if it was possible, you wanted like a different like ceremony, something along with this second pile is telling me that you wanted a different type of departure for them, not like in the old ways, not like you wanted a different type of ceremony here. I don't know why, like this is what's coming up. This person might have been estranged or a little bit cold in their life, or at least that seemed so for some reason. Like I saw the tree card in reverse, and it's as though this person in their life, they were struggling with something, or they were carrying like a burden, or they were suffering for some reason, but their suffering was not seen or acknowledged. And because of that suffering, like and because of the inability for them to express or to tell everyone that, they felt isolated, they felt alone in that pain, and alone is like that's like what's coming to the table, and that inability to express, but still that demanding idea of like a family, and they wanted to show their love at 100%, but because of that suffering they felt being held back, and still they had to sacrifice themselves for some reason for the family's well-being. But they didn't do that with regret. They did that with a feeling of love, yet I don't know if they were quite realizing, like, or being aware of the fact that this suffering was impeding them from showing you the love that you deserved, from showing the family overall the love that they all deserved, and the love that they were capable of giving. Like I sense here that person not realizing how powerfully um, their their pain can like how powerfully it can influence their family dynamics, and with the fact that they felt it all alone, for some reason I feel like they didn't realize that the reason for this lack of love, or like that distance or that coldness, was that, like, keeping that, like, it's like a secretly held pain. I sense here disconnection or survival could be as well. Like, they wanted to bring the best to the table, but they were struggling big time. Like, life for them was not easy, I can tell you that, with this person. The white card wanted to show itself twice. This person might have felt powerless. This person might have felt um, unworthy. Like, that's what's for some reason is coming up. Like, they wanted to show their effort and their commitment, but somehow the circumstances or life showed them, or showed you, the opposite. That was flipped. Strength in reverse. Like, no matter what I do, I cannot like quit, or I cannot like leave a vicious cycle. Tell me if that person was like addicted, or maybe they couldn't move on, or they've had like they were very like either secretive, even not even like, it's not secretive, it's not that, but just silent, you know, a person who is silent, even like suspiciously silent, or not wanting to burden anyone, but very loyal at the same time. You know, it's that person who will carry their burdens, will carry their pain, be silent about it, and yet still manage to somehow at the end of the day show their love for you, even if that's really hard for them, or even if they're depleted. I sense a lot of circumstances in their life in which they felt very, very much powerless, or they couldn't feel as though either life or the universe is on their side, and many circumstances that forced them to be active when in fact they wanted to be more in a hermit mode, isolated, and they had a pain that they didn't know how to address, or they didn't have the tools. Really sad here, like, okay, what is this person trying to tell you? That's what, like, what I want to focus on. They are very proud of you, I can tell you that with the Magician card, as though they saw some sort of transformation, or they have seen you grow, they have seen you in a different life, in a different light, and they saw you overcome a lot of challenges and issues, and you being like very smart and decisive in the right circumstances. Like, this is not the case of a person, like I'm talking about you, who is not being flexible enough in their life, so much so that they require to change their approach for them to succeed, and for them to extract the best possible outcome in each situation. Like, I see you being very flexible and very diplomatic at the same time, and this person is very much proud of your achievement in regards to this specific trait, and in this specific domain that is showing like your agility, your ability to be flexible, to be spontaneous, and to regroup your forces when the time is necessary for you to change or to act in a different way, sometimes completely in the opposite way, for example. I sense here a great transformation, a great change. Specifically, that's like the character growth. It's like that feeling when you read a book and you traverse through the development of that character, and you see the changes that happened, you know, with them. And that person is wanting to tell you that they are very much aware and very proud of your achievements, and they want to say, like, they want to give you a medal of sorts. Like, you have to be praised, you have to be valued for how strong you are and for how many accomplishments you've made. Like, this could be monetary, this could be like the effort that you have invested. Can I clarify this? yeah, like if you have a family, they admire your commitment, they admire the love that you give, and they as well admire the way you support and you so ruthlessly protect your loved ones. Like, I sense here a very powerful person and a very generous and supportive thing, as though their generosity, they feel like it was cultivated by them in you, and they felt like this transference in which they gave you that trait and you turned it into more. And they want to say that they're very proud of it, even if that, like, even if you don't have many people who acknowledge this, like if you are alone and you do not have that praise, like, you know, that person is very much acknowledging your efforts. I want to tell you that, like, that person is so validating towards you. I cannot tell, even more so than your like real life people here, the people who are alive in your immediate presence. Like, they are very validating, very supportive, and congratulating of your accomplishments here. Second pile, I hope you're proud of yourself, because that person is very much proud of you. Your support, your love that you give so fiercely, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, sometimes like you're even like sacrificing yourselves, but it's being regarded as a very heroic thing to do. Like, all for the family, like, I'm all there for the family, I will turn the mountains upside down for my family. That was all, second pile. I hope it resonated. Make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I really hope to see you in the future. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is yours if you've picked this earring. So, this is interesting. I will tell you exactly what I see, but the energy that is very apparent here is of a friend. The connection here is specifically friend oriented, or this could have been a person in life that was very passive, or even could be depressive. And this will go different ways, but I sense as though you and that person were very close, like very close friends, like could be best friends, could be colleagues, and you felt like you saw, understood, and very closely understood that person. For some reason, it felt to me like if they had more people like you into their life, then life would have been much more bearable, much more fun, much more interesting, and worth living for. Because these cards are in regards to the nature of your relationship with that person, and it's meant to give you some and me some information about this person, I feel as though this pile, you are either seeing here a friend, a best friend, a friend of the family, or a young person overall here with this Four of Visions. I don't know how to say this delicately, but if this person, if their living was somehow interrupted by their depressive feelings, this could be as well something that is relevant here. Like, I see that person being very heavily fixed on things not working out, as though they wanted to have hope into their life, but is that inability to create something desirable. With this Angel of Creation in reverse, especially because that card is flipped, I see as though that person has lost hope into the brighter future, or in their ability to aspire or to invite things of a better frequency into their life, and it felt too much. honestly. It felt too much for them. I see here a rope here with this third card. This is very heavy, I will not lie. This is very heavy. This person in life was very bitter, in the sense of like very disappointed, or they had a very bright drive and beginning, yet in the end somehow it all faded away. And I sense here a very huge disconnection from the spirit world, and because of that disconnection I feel as though this person has lost the spark. Or I see that person either spiraling or being like unable to quit or to leave some sort of very negative spaces in their life, in their if this pile, like honestly, like if that hasn't resonated so far, like if you don't find the person with this analysis, then most likely this is not your pile. But this is a young person, this is not an old person. This could have been like 20s, 30s. I would consider even like 40s, 40-ish type of thing to be not an old person, honestly. Not an old person. Like, old people, I consider them to be like other things I will not mention right now, but I do not consider that. I overly feel like their mindset in life is like nothing can make me happy. Or as though as time passed, they were robbed of their happiness or of their optimism in things turning out for the better. I see here them being at ease in your presence with this Three of Pentacles, and I sense here a sense of like unspoken support or understanding. You honestly, like, you don't know this, but your influence was very much acknowledged, seen, and there was a subtle feeling of ease, peace, or desire to get along with you. But somehow, like, for some reason, there is like regret or something along those lines that they couldn't open up fully. Okay, this is heavy. This is a very secretive person. You don't know much about them, like most likely in life they haven't been very open, let's say. Ten of Swords, very heavy, like this person was carrying a burden, this person was carrying pain inside, which was very difficult to carry along with. Somehow there was a point in their life in which they accepted it, or as though they resigned or thought of it as it is fate and I cannot do anything about it. There was an yearning for living for that person. There were times in which they felt much better, but it was all like an intense period in their life, and either because of that, because of this emotional turmoil, um, it could have been the case that they either got like severely sick, their health could have deteriorated, and that was like the reason for their decline or for their passing. This could be the case of someone not doing very well in their physical like aspect, but it all came from the emotional, you know, and a huge disconnection here. This could have been a person who had beliefs about themselves, about the world, that they have to man up or to be strong and to not show any vulnerability. And because of that perception, they isolated themselves. They could have felt very much imprisoned into their own life, and it's that powerlessness you feel when you cannot escape some sort of limitations imposed by your own thinking or by your own upbringing or by your own like destructive patterns. As though like I have a very distinct feeling about this person wanting to make themselves comfortable in life, but because of these like programming or because of these negative beliefs, they couldn't be happy even if they wanted it. For some reason, I don't know, that's like what's coming up to the table. There is like a discrepancy here, a duality, as though I cannot be happy and I cannot make the world happy at the same time. Can I please get more clarity about that person? Maybe their relationship with you, to you, and what does it imply? Okay. You see, I sense them being very direct, okay, with your communication. Very clear communication. I don't see here like misunderstandings. I see a very clear channel of communication with this Knight of Swords. Strength. And 2 of Cups. Okay, that's interesting. Two of Swords in reverse. Okay, one message in particular here with this pile is that this person, this could be the case that you got along, but it wasn't such a deep relationship in which you can say that like that person, I will like keep them in my list, or like I will keep them as very close. No, I sense here like a sympathy or understanding. 9 of Cups in reverse. I see you each going in your own separate ways, but still remembering that connection or that relationship you had. Like that's like what's being shown here. A person focused on money, or a person focused on their finances. This could be work related as well. You know, this pile is giving me very distinct information about a person. This most likely is not a family member, because I got here the Four of Visions, and the Four of Visions is like a card of depression. It's in reverse, which could be a good thing, but I saw and read the cards in the context, so that's what's very specific about this pile. Okay, what do they want to tell you? Because the nature of the relationship was very like split, but that's alright, I guess. It was a little bit unclear, but maybe that's because it's general, but yeah. What do they want to tell you from beyond? The Empress in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. Interesting. You see, with this Empress in reverse, I felt as though with their passing you felt distressed, or you felt much more in a negative space than they perhaps wanted, or they wanted to not imprint you with that negativity, basically. As well, I sense here them wanting to be remembered not by the way they passed, but by the way they were, like prior to their passing. And I sense here a bit of like regret or holding themselves back somehow. Unfinished business I sense here as well. The powerlessness of not being able to change the situation and their loneliness, like the subsequent feeling of loneliness and the misery that comes along with it, that you don't have a person to talk with. Eight of Cups. It's very sad for me because that person has a very huge inner world that they wanted to share, but for some reason, either because of their upbringing, either because of that, or their programming, societal beliefs, or beliefs about themselves, they felt as though they had to close this all within themselves and not express. And that perhaps made it so that they bottled everything up, and it all played a very bad game on their health, on their mental health, or something along these lines. Six of Swords, Five of Cups. A very lonely person, I can tell you that with these cards. And heavily misunderstood. I would not be surprised if that person was very much struggling with making new friends, or overall not being able to connect or to be a part of a community, something along those lines, because of this like imprinting of like be a man, or don't show emotions, or don't feel, don't show who you are, because if you do, then you are somehow weak. And you know, unfortunately, there was a calling, there was a call here, consciously or not. This person was giving like an impulse or signal to the universe that their choice, their life is too much, and it was like that return of the order or something like this, in which they decided that a greater lesson would be learned if they perhaps weren't to experience such a huge level of distress. And with this star card in reverse, the mercy that they felt like they invited was manifested in such a way that, you know, they feel better right now where they are currently, beyond. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, as I'm saying, like they are feeling much better there in the beyond world. Yeah, specifically that, like I cannot make it up. Two of Wands. They're far away. I don't know if that's even a thing to quantify the space, but they feel very far. If you wanted to ask about you, about what they think of you, or like if that's like a friend or like a work colleague or something along those lines, they very much remember you. They remember you as a very sincere person. They remember you as a very like quick witted or quick to help person, and a person who can guide who can offer help in the hour of need, basically. Like you being very loyal, and 10 of wands in reverse, like you being able to offer your help and either like rescue, but it's not the word really. It's a feeling of, you know, that person has got my back, and for that, that person is very grateful. This is a strong message for you and for the rest of the people that they have lost because of that passing, is to not remember them because of, like, don't remember them in the final moments, remember them as they were in their life. Like, remember them joyful, remember them happy, these moments in which they felt optimistic, these moments in which they felt at their best. This is what they want you to remember. And many of you are worried about their afterlife. 9 of Swords, Queen of Swords. Somehow, like the consequences or whatever it is, this person is urging you to not think about it. Do not worry about their like afterlife, because that is like somehow it's telling me like to express this, that it's beyond you, or it's like beyond, like it's their responsibility, and you don't have to worry about, like, if you have like hell or like fears of these types and about their like fate there, do not worry about it, because the Tower is in reverse and the worst is like has not happened, or the worst is not going to happen, or that you're making it seem much more difficult or much more fearful or stressful than it is. The World card, the Hierophant, and the Fool in reverse. Interesting. This person is in a great space. Like, I sense here oneness, connection, connectivity, that very like grand feeling of oneness. I feel them being part of it and being very much comfortable in it. And I sense them feeling not burdened or worried about anything there, or something along those lines. Like, the life they felt, the life they lived here was very stressful for them, or it was like difficult for them to carry. Right now they feel much better, and they want to tell you that. That was all third pile, yeah. I really hope it resonated, and if it did, then make sure to comment below, like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you're not. And I really hope to see you in my future videos. Bye! Hello, fourth pile. To begin with your reading, I saw here Child of Challenges. And with this 3 of Spells, and Death as well, there is a feeling here that this pile might resonate with the idea of a lost child, and or a miscarriage. As though with these cards, as well with the lilies, it was a loss of a child. For some reason, like, I see that very, very specific. As though that person hasn't been able to go through the cycle of life, like this marriage or this white bride card. As though you wanted to give that person, like, I'm talking about the child situation I have showcased here. You wanted to give them the chance for this cycle, for this beautiful cycle of life, and it didn't happen. Trust that the situation is being, or has been, taken care of accordingly. This is very strange, but to be honest, like that's what I'm seeing here. I sense here like a miscarriage or an unprecedented death here of like a young person. The moon is in reverse. The letter is in reverse. And the broom. Okay. You know, I'm trying to take some other cards to see whether I'll have some... Yeah, like, honestly, this symbolism is reminding me very much of a child here. Like this pile, if you haven't lost a child, or if you do not recall anything that I'm relating to here, then most likely this is not your reading. But I sense here long-waited child and like that loss. Angel of Patience here, and it's like a very grieving type of card. For many of you, like if you're still here, this is a situation either you have let go, or you either thought of it as though you've let go, but it's still somehow not integrated or yet there. This could have been like a female, because I see here this representation and this first one. This could be as well the case in which, for example, someone has lost a daughter or first child, you know, first child in the family, or even second child because of the Two of Pentacles, but it's like a loss of a child here, like very young energies. Yeah, I can definitely feel like you haven't gone past it for some reason. This is a very heavy description, yes, but the Queen of Pentacles, I wonder if this pile is wondering whether they are to blame or they are feeling like not a good parent, but this is not true here. This is not true. This was all a circumstance, like that was meant to be. But it's very much like the grief here, it's excruciating. Can I please get a more specific message in regards to this situation? Because like honestly, like the fourth pile is the most dense here and unclear, but this was one of the messages here that was being showcased in the reading as a lost child or like a young person. This could be as well the case of a child that, for example, was not young in regards to like either like the miscarriage thing I described, but a highly like hoped no, not that honestly, like teenager could be like, because of this bride card, as though it was the anticipation or the awaiting for their like either big event. Like for some this could be marriage, for some this could be entering a school or a university, and that all like ended in a... It's a very sad like image in cultures I have seen, in which young people are being buried as brides and grooms, I guess, and this is because it's like that honoring of the idea that, as though the parents wanted to give them the possibility, or the feeling as though what it would be like if they were to be married or something. It's like a very symbolic thing, yet it's like a tradition. I've heard it in our places, and it's like I sense here a lot of expectation placed on that person, or a lot of like bright things awaited for that person in the future, you know. And all it came to like a very huge halt, and you had to let go. 3 of spells here. Yeah, definitely. The devil is in reverse. Like that situation where that person has taught you how it's like, or what it's like to let go. Like a very rough lesson here. Many of you, like this departure was meant to grow you spiritually, or it was a soul contract that has speeded up your progression or your spirituality, or has opened yourselves up yeah, to spirituality. This was very difficult. Yeah, 9 of Swords, 4 of Swords. This is so destructive. Like this loss is beyond feeling, beyond words, beyond explanation. It's so heavy that it's even hard for me and heartbreaking to delve into it. But it was like a very huge boost into your spirituality, to be honest. It was like a lesson, or it was like a detachment lesson, either that, or it was a lesson for you to learn in regards to where you place your importance in life. And it's not to say that it was not right for you to place that expectation or importance on that person, but it's as though you lived your happiness based upon that person, and with their loss, you felt very much destabilized. And it was a lesson showing you that you have to be placing your happiness, your foundation in things that are beyond time and beyond the temporary nature of many events or life circumstances, as though that has pushed you into the idea of spirituality. To be honest, like my tongue does not turn to say that this was in your own progression, like for your greatest good, because that's like beyond words. The things that I have felt here, because many of you felt so bitter because of that situation, because of that departure, so much so that you have closed off from feeling ever again something. Like I will not feel anything anymore because of the great disappointment that I have faced, because of the grief, you know. This could have been the case, or this is the case of someone who decided to abandon, separate, alienate themselves from emotions once and for all. Like I will not feel the great chasm of negativity and of the loss I have felt. And it's as though you are building walls, or building a wall between you emotions, between you and life, and between you and feeling. The Wheel of Fortune is as though your life has ended, a big chunk or a big chapter of your life has stopped or has ended, and you're like, no way, I will not let this happen ever again. This feeling, you know. The White card, even if like even the closed off is feeling like right now in the reading, you might be even closed off from like wanting to hear any further what I'm wanting to convey here. Can I get messages from that person? Because yeah, That was the title of the reading. Ace of Cups. Justice. That was a karmic lesson. That is what this person is trying to say. They're trying to say that you're not to be blamed for what has happened. And with this justice, it was meant to be. What happened, it was meant to be. Unfortunately, like, whatever they're referring to with the Ace of Cups, do not, like, ponder on this. They're actually trying to help you move on from there. Honestly, such a powerful message. There is a male figure, either that, let's see, King of Wands, definitely, like, this is both ways. This person, this loss you felt, like this person that is talking through the cards from the beyond world, they're trying to communicate to you by the means of an emperor, or a person who's very connected, very intuitive, as well. I sense here a male energy that is trying to communicate to you as well. This could be the King of Wands, this could be like a fire sign, or a person represented by a fire sign here, or a very temperamental person. They don't have to be a fire sign, but you could remember them as being very fiery, very motivated, or very much powerful, you know? The Empress in reverse. Eight of Cups. So the message here that is trying to... This person that's coming up here with this fourth pile, they are trying to tell you that you cannot change the past, no matter how much you overthink it, or how many times you return to it. You cannot change it. Ten of Cups. They are much more interested, Page of Cups, in you finding happiness beyond what has happened, beyond them and beyond life circumstances that has led you to experience that. Seven of Cups. They want you to let go. Like, this is a very, very strong message. They want you to let go, and as though it was a lesson of teaching you how to let go, or how to be at ease with whatever that's happening. I know this sounds very harsh, but this is what I'm seeing here with this card. Ten of Wands in reverse. I know it doesn't seem to be that way, but for some reason this departure is yet to be revealed as something that happened for your greatest good. For some reason, like, that's like, I'm sorry if that's like not what you wanted to hear, but Knight of Pentacles, like, in the long run, in the long term, you'll realize what I'm talking about here. Ace of Pentacles was in reverse. It's trying to say that, first of all, it's like a lesson, it's a justice thing, that it's a karmic situation that you couldn't avoid. Unfortunately, you couldn't avoid this, no matter how much you might believe that it was within your grasp. No, it wasn't. And this stubbornness, like, this person is very much trying to urge you to find happiness in something else. Like, you don't have to ruminate. Page of Swords in reverse. This is a very bitter situation, like, honestly. Page of Wands. Okay, this is a very specific message. If this is a situation of you've lost a child and you have other children, I feel as though this person is trying to tell you that you have to focus your love and give your love and be available and feel for these people, like for your other children. If this is not the case, then this person is urging you to open yourselves back, to feel again, to love again, and to love other people because they need you, because they require your love somehow. They require you to be available, and you have a very huge impact on them, on the world, and it is a lost chance, it is a lost opportunity if you are to be focused on this loss here. But you have to be assisted, I can tell you that. You have to be assisted, you have to seek help if that's something you want to do and feel like doing, but you have to open up about your loss to either a psychologist, either to people you loved, people you love in general. Like, you have to open up. This closing of yourselves and retreating is not going to facilitate any healing. Pile number 4, like, this is very heavy, but see, like, this woman staying here, and it's like a butterfly that flies to her. Like, you are closing your eyes to many opportunities, many happy things in your life, and it's understandable, to be honest. Like, this is all right, like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, I'm not invalidating you, but I'm saying here that you need to find ways to somehow actively seek, or to set an intention for you to process, to integrate, or to feel your way back into alignment here, despite what has happened. And you have the potential here. You will restore your emotional well-being if you desire. But it's like a very consuming feeling of grief, depression, or lost faith. Honestly, like, with this pile, with this person's loss, you felt like a part of you has been taken away from you, and you've lost that feeling of wanting to advance in life, or you've lost like that inner strength. You need to be nurtured. You need to be brought back into alignment here. And definitely you need to find optimism back again, and like, that past is like poisoning you. It's the case of someone who might be feeling like they betray the loved one that has passed, if they let themselves feel and let go. No, it's not. This person is urging you to feel and to be available for the people that you love, that are alongside you. And this might have been like very uneventful, not being able to predict, or very sudden here with this death card. Like, it's a very quick, it was a very quick and unbearable situation. It's very heavy even for me to be there, and it has changed you like big time. There is a strong feeling, like an urge even, for either your spirit guides, that person as well, but primarily that person, to urge you to be happy, to rediscover how it's like to live again, beyond and through what has happened. That was very specific, pile number 4. I hope it resonated and it has given you some clarity here. Like, comment if you feel like it, and subscribe, and I really hope to see you in the future. Bye.